The topic that we were discussing yesterday, that was about the valuation rules in connection with the imported goods. And in that, we had spoken about rule number 1, rule number 2. In rule number 2, also we spoke about very specific definitions: computed value, deductive value, goods of same kind, identical goods, similar goods. That much we had already done. Now, today's most important definition is the term related. Why we need to define the term related? This is rule number 2, sub rule number 2. The term is related. Why do we need to define the term who's related?
Because value may influence the
Valuation
relation.
Valuation has to be as per rules written, if it is related.
No,
Related
if
question.
those are not related still. So whether related or not related, valuation is always as per the rules.
No, relation may be influencing the price.
That is correct. Right. The correct answer is under section 14, subsection 1, one of the main conditions specified for acceptance of the transaction value is that parties shall not be related. Right. So later on, you're going to see that even if parties are related, that is also acceptable subject to fulfillment of certain conditions. So that is not compulsory that if parties are related, then transaction value is not acceptable. No. In that situation also, it is acceptable subject to fulfillment of certain conditions. Okay. Now, there is another concept which is very common, at least in India, that is relative. Now, what is the relation between the term relative and related? Prima facie, it is one and same, right? But the
Relative
issue
is a part
is,
of relative. Relative is a part of relative.
yes, that relatives are there for a natural human being. How can there be a relation between the relative, between the artificial persons? That's why the term is related. So the relation between the relative and the related is this. This is the relationship between two terms. That every relative is also related, but every related party is not a relative. Is this clear? Right? So we are not talking about the relatives. We are talking about the term related. So who is related? Why we are defining? Answer I have already given. That as per section 14, subsection 1, prima facie transaction value is acceptable for the purpose of valuation, provided parties are not related. Prima facie, it is not conclusive evidence, right? That you and me are not related and we enter into a transaction at a nominal cost only. Is it a correct value? No, it's not. Right. So prima facie, we say that when the parties are not related, prima facie transaction value is acceptable as a correct value or rather correct price for the purpose of valuation. But that is not compulsory. Okay.
Sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, irrespective of parties being related or not related, rules are applicable for valuation.
Always, always. All right. Because without rules, without addition, adjustment as per the rules, valuation cannot be completed. If parties are related, then very specific rule number 3, sub rule number 3 will apply. And in all other cases, balance rules are applicable. As far as rule 10 is concerned, rule 11 is concerned, rule 12 is concerned, that is applicable in all situations. Okay, so valuation is always as per the rules. So may where from it is coming? Where from it is coming? I'll take you to section 14. Subject to such other conditions as may be specified in the rules made in this behalf. This is section 14, subsection 1. Right? All the major conditions are specified in this only. The transaction value, which is the price paid or payable in connection with the goods at the time and place of importation, exportation, where parties are not related, price is the sole consideration. And then subject to such other conditions as specified in the rules. So rules are always applicable whether parties are related or parties are not related. Is it clear? Okay. Now, going back to the definition, here we have the definition of the term related. Now, this is for the purpose of these rules. This is a very important line. For the purpose of these rules, you cannot apply this definition universally in all the laws. Even under the Customs Act also, you cannot apply everywhere the same definition, because here it is said for the purpose of these rules. If the concept of related is required in any other rule, unless the reference of this is given, we have to find the definition there only. Okay, the persons shall be deemed to be related. Now see this word. Only if. It means there are 8 clauses given, and this is exhaustive list of the term of the people who will be considered as related. Any other relation, whatsoever that may be, people will not be considered as related.
Related.
Is that meaning clear? Right? Read every word carefully. Once read, once understood, you will remember it for the lifetime. So how many clauses are there in total?
8.
Total number of clauses are 8. Okay. In clause number 1, we have they are officers or directors of one another's businesses. So it means here the relation is through the individuals. In this clause, the relation is through the individuals. Importer happens to be a legal entity in India. Supplier is another legal entity abroad. And the recipient, the importer, is the owner of that company or the legal entity, happens to be director there. And the person who is the owner there, he happens to be director here. So relationship is ultimately through the individuals. As this is as per clause number 1 is concerned. Relationship does not exist always through the individuals. It is not necessary. In clause number 1, this is through the individuals. Okay. Number 2.
To watch full video, join online batch weekdays 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Call Tail Institute.